I am at the Titanic exhibit in Toronto, Canada, and today I'm taking you through this immersive exhibit here in Toronto. Here are some of the artifacts. That is an electrical switch from the Titanic, a deck lamp, and a grip fuse. And the grip fuse was used to protect the circuits of the Titanic. Right here is a brass turnbuckle that was used to tighten the chains that secured the lifeboats to the boat deck while they were not being used. And the Titanic only had 20 lifeboats. And when the Titanic was sinking, a lot of the lifeboats left without a number of passengers who could have been on them. This is a fitted wrench. Upon hearing of the boiler room's damage, all of the Titanic engineers, even those off duty, returned to their posts. They labored for 2 hours to save the wounded ship, and most did not survive. Here we have a fountain pen with a 14-karat gold nib. And these are 2 trolley tickets that were brought up from the Titanic. See if I can zoom in there. One of them actually says Toronto on it. Those Toronto trolley tickets are just mind-blowing. Trolleys or streetcars provided necessary transport in the city of Toronto. A packet of 12 tickets was recovered from the wreck site, and 2 of them are shown here. They were good for a single ride in Toronto. There is a postcard of Oshawa, Ontario, found in the sunken Titanic. On the day of the departure, Wednesday, April 10th, 1912, there was excitement in the air as the Titanic boarded passengers. Here we have a not wanted luggage tag. There is the White Star Line, Southampton, second class. If you had a not wanted tag on your luggage, that meant that your luggage was transported to the cargo hold. There is a photo of the captain of the ship, Captain Edward J. Smith, who did go down with the ship that fateful evening in 1912. And there is a model of the Titanic here. A miniature model. And what a massive ship it was. There are the lifeboats. They only had 20. Not enough for all the passengers on the ship. And there were classes of passengers. First class and the lower class passengers. There were over 2,200 passengers and only approximately 700 passengers survived the sinking of the Titanic. Sadly, Captain Edward James Smith was meant to retire in 1911, but the White Star Line convinced him to stay in order to oversee Titanic's first Atlantic crossing. Smith promised his wife Eleanor and his daughter Helen that he would retire after the Titanic's much anticipated first voyage. And in this immersive exhibit, they have recreated some of the rooms inside of the Titanic. And I am in one of the rooms right now. And this is what the Titanic would have looked like back in 1912. Let's walk through. Just incredible. So this would have been the doorway inside of the Titanic. I'd be guessing on in which class this would be, but it looks pretty uppity up, so it very well may have been the first class. I'm not sure if you can open the doors here. Let's see. No. Just incredible. And I have been very interested in the Titanic, the history of the Titanic, since I was a little person. Look at this, guys. And there is the room number here as I walk through. This immersive exhibit with 200 original artifacts displayed throughout. There's a quote up there, and it says, "Everything has been done in regards to the furniture and fittings to make first-class accommodations more than equal to that provided in the finest hotels on shore." And that was back in the 1911 magazine, the Shipbuilder magazine. Here we have a picture of the first class reading room and some more artifacts that were brought up from the Titanic and the First artifact here is cufflinks and a bow tie. This 18-karat gold and enamel cufflink set and silk bow tie would have completed a passenger's formal attire, and there are some lion and fox tie pins. Here we have a silver-plated pocket watch. A gold locket and chain. And the gold locket and chain, the watch fob is a round gold locket decorated with Roman Greek god Hermes or Mercury. The locket opens and would have held a small photograph. And there are officers' buttons right there. Here we have more artifacts, a tip basin, and the tip basin only in the first class cabins were fitted with running water. A tank hidden in a cabin fed this second class tip sink. When finished washing, passengers folded this sink into the wall to save space. That was a soap dish from the Titanic, second class, and a drinking glass. The bottom of this drinking glass bears the name of its manufacturer, Wilkin. Here we have a hot and cold water valves. A third class toilet. Yikes, guys, yikes. Trigger alert if you don't like to look inside of toilets. What does that say on the inside of the toilet? And that would have been a second class toilet. Actually, that was a third class toilet. This is one of dozens of toilets from the third class passengers because many emigrants had never seen a toilet before. Steamship companies frequently arrange for the toilets to flush automatically. There is a chamber pot, and a chamber pot was meant for motion sickness when you were on the Titanic. And right behind this exhibit is another room, and this would have been a room for a first class passenger. And there's the bed. The first class room, I'm actually surprised at how big it is. Here's a dresser. Somebody would have laid down their hat. And these rooms are just staged to look like what it would have looked like on the Titanic here. There is an old $20 Canadian Bank of Commerce note and a $1 Dominion of Canada banknote. And some more U.S. silver certificates that look like they were damaged. Is the grand staircase, one of the Titanic's most incredible features. And look at this, just incredible. Just beautiful, look at that. Look at the detail. It's beautiful, this grand staircase. Look at this. Look at the woodwork, just incredible, guys. And behind it, at the top of the stairwell, is a wooden carving similar to what the first class passengers would have seen in the grand staircase. Here is a tile from the first class dining room floor. And wall-to-wall carpeting was a rarity on board of the Titanic. So they had wall-to-wall carpeting at the turn of the century on the Titanic. Here are some soup spoons, a silver plate, a flower vase. There is a serving spoon. Just incredible. They even had a gymnasium and a pool on the Titanic, and there is a picture of the gym. This is original artifacts, the second and third class floor tile, and their first class bathroom floor tile. There is a doorknob from the third class. Oh, this is interesting. There is a brush. A porcelain pot decorated with roses. And this is a portrait of third class immigrants. Frederick Goodwin, 40, and his wife Augusta, 43, and their 6 children. Left their home in England, bound for Niagara Falls, New York. And although the Goodwin family might have been able to afford a second-class ticket, they booked a third-class passage on a small steamer in order to save money. And this definitely would have been a cramped space for such a big family. Have the crow's nest bell. This bell originally hung over Titanic's crow's nests on the foremast. It is made of copper alloy and weighs over 80 pounds. The bell was used to sound warning and alarms, as well as general timekeeping. On the night of April 14th, 1912, the waters of the North Atlantic were below freezing. And most of the lost during the Titanic sinking did not die from drowning. They died from hypothermia. And visitors are allowed to touch the iceberg inside of this exhibit. And I will touch the iceberg. That is cold. And I always think of the Titanic as a grave site. So it's very unnerving to see some of these artifacts. And this one here is a man's work boot. It was made of leather and has a faint splash of red paint on. This is a porthole frame. And the sinking of the Titanic was so powerful that it twisted and broke the solid bronze frame. And right here, you can touch the Titanic. This fragment was originally located on the starboard side of the ship between C and D decks. The visible holes once held the rivets that attached it to the ship. And this will be my first time ever touching the Titanic. I'm touching the Titanic. How unreal is this? Here is some socks and clothing. A shirt collar. A pair of gloves. Prince of Wales vest and pants. These vest and pants are fashioned from the fabric woven in the Prince of Wales pattern. Here is a towel from the Titanic. And the wall here indicates how many people from each class died along with the crew, the names of the souls lost on the maiden voyage ship of the Titanic. In the first class, 125 were lost. Second class, 168 souls were lost. In the third class, 529 souls were lost, and those are the names. And the crew, 701 of the crew was lost.